Hey everybody, it's time for the July Heart Breathings Notebook Challenge. So I'm going to share with you some new notebooks and things that I have set up and share with you kind of how this manifesting one went last time. And we're just going to have some fun. So I hope you're having a good weekend so far. Let's just dive in. So it's July, which means that all the new mid-year planners are starting. So I've been really spending a lot of time thinking about my system because I had a system in place with my notebooks and my planners. And then we went on the road for 7+ months. And then we moved into a new house and everything's been getting kind of settled in. And now I'm sort of rethinking. And to be honest, I really want to simplify, but I have so much in my, so many things that I love to use that it's been difficult for me to simplify. So I'm just going to see how this month goes and see if there's anything in my system that I could easily drop. Now, I am hoping to record at some point a mid-year planner lineup where some of these things will kind of reappear in the videos for you. But I'm really debating it because I have so many planners that Erin Condren has sent me. I wanted to try out one of the new simplified planners. I just have so many things, but then I'm also trying to get back into where I'm really focused on my writing. And I think that my energy of creativity is pulled too much into my planners right now. And so it's I don't really want to simplify in some ways. And then in other ways, I'm like, you know what? It's time to just say, this is the main thing that I'm using. And I'm going to throw as much creativity into that instead of splitting up into so many different things. But then when I start to think about the functionality of my systems, it's I'm not sure where to simplify. I know that sounds a little bit all over the place, but what I decided was instead of just trying to cut it down to one book or something, which would be really difficult for me and might actually make my life harder instead of more simple, is I'm going to really pay attention this month of July to what I'm actually spending my time in. So I had shown you guys earlier this year, I had a notebook that I was keeping track of the new decor and stuff in the house. I used that for a little while we were setting up the shelves in this room or things like that. And then I haven't used it since. So I'm going to, for example, pay attention to whether I still need that notebook or if I can just put it on the shelf and reuse it for something later and not feel any guilt about the fact that I didn't use it all the way through and see what I'm really getting into this month. So one thing I know for sure that I am going all in on right now is this beauty. So this is a Foxy Fix. If you are not familiar with them, this was a company that had different leather traveler's notebooks. And I only bought one ever, but intended to buy more. And then they kind of went out of business. So this is just a magnet, but it was super cute here. If you know of some great places that have pretty dangly clips, let me know in the comments. I would love to support an Etsy shop and buy a pretty dangly clip here. But this is a Foxy Fix. I got it pre-loved from a Facebook group. And I think this is the sugar mochi color. And it's just beautiful. And it's almost in perfect shape. And I got a pretty good deal off of it, especially considering you can't get them anymore. And I have really stuffed it full of stuff. And I'm hoping that this will be kind of the main notebook that I use for the next 6 months. It's multiple notebooks. So there's 3 notebooks in. If you're not familiar with Traveler's notebook style, it's just a notebook that you have 3 to 4, sometimes 6 of these elastics, and then you can put notebooks inside so you can have multiple notebooks at once. So what I have is just a little bit of setup here in the front with things that I got from the Planner Society subscription back when that was a thing. It's also gone, which is sad. And then when I got this from the used store, the used buy sell trade group, she also sent these lovely little, actually this one I bought from an Etsy shop, but it came with it to have some of these Foxy Fix, I don't even know what you call these, but little folders. So I was able to sort of decorate. So what I have here is I have a cover. So I'll link the shop that I got this from. I have a cover and then you put paper inside to give it that look. So it's really just clear cover. And then this one has paper that goes inside like this. And then I bought little notebooks, just small. This is all B6 size notebooks from Paper Penguin Co. This one has the new version of the Tomoe River paper, which I'm excited to try. It's just graph paper. So I'll link Paper Penguin down below as well. And then of course I have just like an old picture of me and my husband when we were much younger. So I've got that in there. So I like the folder because you can put little decor and different things like that. You can glue stuff on, and then you can have it separate from the notebook. So that's one type of folder. And then this folder here is one that came with it. And this is a different style. Instead of having like two separated sections, it's just one folder. And then you put a longer piece of paper in here. So this double-sided paper again was from the Planner Society, and this notebook is another one from Paper Penguin Co. And then finally I have another one just like that. These two folders came with the traveler's notebook, a little ollie clip and some acetate. And then the third notebook that I got from Paper Penguin Co. is this black one, because I have so many fun pens that work on black paper. So I'm going to be using this for journaling. So I've got 3 notebooks there. And then I have a B6 Stalogy that is in a Lauren Phelps design cover. And I just made this fun washi dashboard to go with it. And this whole traveler's notebook is going to be part of a new like personal thing that I'm doing. I'll talk about this more in my Q2 review and Q3 setup for my goals coming up this week. That video was supposed to be up last Thursday, but we had so much trouble like recovering from flights and everything else that I just am giving myself an extra week and pushing everything back. But this is really all about 6 months for life. So I have, I set 3 goals every quarter. The first goal is for my writing, the second goal for heart breathing. The third goal is usually a more personal goal. So it's going to be 100% all in for 6 months for life, which is basically a commitment that I'm making to spend the next 6 months of my life focusing on 4 areas, which are going to be my wellness, my energy, my freedom, and my passion. And I'll explain more of that. And there's vlogs coming on my Sarra Cannon channel and everything else. But for this purposes, just know that this is the notebooks that I'll be using. And these 3 I'll be using less often, but this Stalogy I'll be in every single day. And I will have like a full walkthrough setup video of this, but that's going to go up on my Sarra Cannon channel with all of my 6 months for life stuff. But in here, I'm basically going to be tracking my writing, because part of 6 months for life is getting back to the joy of writing and the passion that I had for writing, instead of spending so much of my energy on social media and videos and other things like that. You won't necessarily see less videos from me, maybe, but I'm just trying to kind of rearrange my schedule a little bit to create more space for my creative writing. I'm also going to be tracking my cycles so that I can see when I'm most energetic, and I can see if the things that I'm doing for my wellness are affecting my PCOS. If you don't know, I have polycystic ovarian syndrome. So this is something that I really want to get back under control, because it's definitely getting worse and worse. I'm going to journal about those 4 areas of my life and what that means to me. I'm going to make a vision board in here, and then I'm kind of going to be writing every day just a little line for the next 6 months about how I'm feeling. Like, am I stressed? Am I tired? Is my anxiety high? And I'm hoping that over time, I'm going to see massive improvements on that. So it's just kind of a one line. I have a little bookshelf in here. I can put down below where I got these printables. I think most of them were from Hourglass planners. This is from Sterling Ink. And then another Hourglass planners thing. And then I've got a habit tracker that I'm going to be keeping in here. So this is kind of like a planner, but it's really, this B6 Stalogy is like a notebook. It's just nothing but graph paper. And so I'm just adding my own things to it. So this is going to be mostly journaling with a little bit of monthly tracking. So I'm going to be in this every day. This one, for the black one, is going to be mostly like encouraging quotes or messages that I want to keep for myself, like affirmations. This pink one is kind of tracking my weight and my food that I'm eating for trying to get my PCOS and hormones back under control. And I have not decided yet what I want to do with this first notebook. Sometimes I think I really get attracted to the idea of using a traveler's notebook because you get so many different notebooks in one. But then I think the danger for me there is that I like have notebooks and set them up because they're cute, but I don't actually have a purpose for them, which I know sounds a little bit silly. So I don't know if I end up not just organically coming up with a use for this, then I'm just going to pull it out and feel no guilt for that and just have these other two. And these other two won't be things that I'm like writing in on a daily basis. It'll be like once a week I write something in here, and that's enough for me. So this first one might end up coming out, and we'll just kind of see if that ends up having a purpose or not. But this will be by my bed every night, and it will kind of go into more of my morning routine, so that when I get up in the morning, I'm trying to get into the habit of grabbing this first thing and writing in it as I'm drinking my morning coffee or anything like that. So that is the first sort of notebook set. And this will be kind of my main notebook for the next few months. Another one, so I have two, really there's three, but the other one is still in my nightstand. The other one that's part of my routine already is this notebook here is really a planner. Again, it's a Hobonichi cousin. And I find sometimes that the structure of a planner helps me to journal more. So you'll see several situations where I've got like something that's kind of a hybrid planner notebook, and that's just what I enjoy using. So I just wanted to update you because I know sometimes I'll say I'm using this notebook and then I don't really update you on how it's going. So I'm going to try to get a little better at that because I'm not usually somebody who picks up a notebook and finishes it from front to start every single month, even though there is something also that appeals to me about that. I tend to pick up a notebook and it takes me a full year to get through it, or I only use it for a season and then I move on to a different one. But the point of the notebook challenge is not necessarily to use them all the way through, but just to use the notebooks that you love instead of letting them gather dust. And whether you partially use them or use them all the way up, I'm trying not to judge that process, but just enjoy the use of my notebooks, if that makes sense. So you can see I did a really good job the first half of the year of reading my tarot cards almost every single night. These lines here are the only days that I miss. So there's really only a handful of them, which makes me feel pretty good. I've been keeping up with it pretty well and already into the second half of the year. So I track that on this sort of yearly overview, which tarot card, and this is part of my nightly routine. And that's part of one of the reasons that I've kept up with it, I think, as well as I have, is that it's just become part of my routine for the last few years. So in this weekly spread, I write down the tarot card that I drew with a little bit about what that card means in my life right now. And then on the daily pages of the cousin, I actually do my journaling. Now, I will say, I feel like this year, I have not been quite as good about journaling every single day. You can see most days have something on them, even if it's just something small, but I do have little pockets like this right here where there's nothing. And that's going to be okay too. But sometimes what I do is I will have a, period of time where I don't use it as religiously, so to speak. Like this, we were on vacation. It was too heavy to just take it on the plane with me, so I didn't journal in here. So later at some point, I may come back and use these pages that didn't get used. That's what I've done in years past, and that's been good. But usually, I've got so many stickers and things in this planner by this point of the year that it's like expanding and getting bigger because it tends to bulk up. And I'm not seeing that this year, which makes me think I just haven't been using as much washi tape and stickers. And I have more days than I've ever had before where I didn't do the longer journaling. And I have a feeling that since I'm going to be journaling in this B6stology more in the mornings, that I may not use this daily page as much. So we'll just see. Like I said, I'm going to try to kind of observe my process and my needs because I think it's kind of constantly changing. So just a little update on my Hobonichi cousin, which I am using on a daily basis, just not always the longer form of journaling there. Another part of my nightly routine is I have a Hobonichi 5-year journal, which I write just a few lines every night, mostly like memory stuff about the kids. And then I also, like you saw last month, decided to use this Erin Condren Hello Kitty notebook as a manifesting journal. And I did not write in it every single night, but I started it on May 30th. And I figured this will take me probably, because I got about this far in 1 month. So this may take me the rest of the year to get through. And I think that's fine. Like, I have a bunch of these. So if it takes me about 6 months to get through it, then I maybe will finish 2 a year. And I think I would be pretty happy with that. So I did use it pretty consistently. So I put some of my like big dreams and some of the things that I want to accomplish. I also wrote like, I am beautiful 30 times. And I just, I'm trying to work on that confidence there, like calling in someday 100,000 subscribers, like feeling really grateful for getting 50,000, and really just like positive messages. I'm so grateful. This has kind of become a mix of a gratitude journal and a manifesting journal. Like, I believe in the power of my own positive feelings. I know that good things await me. I am writing anything that I kind of see in meditation, which I know sounds a little bit floofy, but that happens to me sometimes, that I'll be in meditation and I'll see something like myself on a stage, or I'll see something with my kids when they're more grown. And so I always write that stuff down because I feel like that's part of manifestations. So last month I showed you guys this happy planner cover from Cloth and Paper. It doesn't fully lay flat as much as I wish it would, but otherwise I just love the way I have it set up with the purple and all the, just colors, and this, it just makes me feel good every single time I go into it. So just as a little update, I have been using this for my Manifestation Babe Academy. And this is the kind of thing where I'm talking about, like, I want to simplify, but at the same time, it is simplified for me to have one specific dedicated notebook for a course that I'm taking, rather than putting 3 courses that I'm taking into one notebook. But maybe the simplification that needs to happen is I don't need to be taking 3 courses at once, but it's like, I love being a student. It's one of my top 5 strengths, is learner. And I just enjoy it. It relaxes me to keep learning and working on stuff. So it's fun to have a specific notebook for a specific class. So yeah, it's just part of my system. But I did finish a couple modules of this course. And so I have been keeping track of things in here, and I'm just slowly working my way through it. I'm not staying with what the class is on. I'm just self-pacing it, and I've been enjoying it. So this has been nice. And this stays in my Hudson cart here in my room. And there may be like a whole week that goes by that I don't use it, and then a Saturday that I use it all day throughout the day for notes. And I've been enjoying that system. And I recently signed up for yet another course. This is a membership that will last for an entire year. And so I was like, okay, I need a dedicated a notebook for it, because this is going to be something that I have meetings for every week. This is something that I'm going to be taking extra courses and a monthly membership and stuff. And I decided to use this B6. I think I'm like really just loving this B6 size. So for comparison, this is a B6 traveler's notebook, and then this is a B6 ring bound notebook. And I bought some really cute like dashboards from, I think it was Heather B or something like that on Etsy. I'd never used her shop before, but I really enjoyed it. And then I bought some pages, like in like pre-punched pages from Aura Estelle. And I'm just loving the way this feels as well. And every time I pick this up, I feel happy. And I think when I think about simplifying, maybe it's less about simplifying how much stuff I use and more about simplifying my joy, if that makes sense, or just leaning into my joy. I don't know. But either way, please try to be kind in the comments, because I know this is not really simplification. I'm using a lot of stuff, so it's okay. Do your thing. So I set this up with fun, pretty things that make me happy over here on the side. Like, how cute is this Coffee Monsters Co. little... I just love it. So cute. This bookmark came from Aura Estelle, the bookmark ruler. And then all of these dashboards came from that Heather B store. And then these are from Cloth and Paper. And I basically had set up just some really pretty dashboards. I think they look so nice. It's just very classy. I do have these sort of weekly inserts in here that make this, again, more of like a planner notebook hybrid. But so far I haven't used this yet. So if I end up not using the like weekly thing, my plan was to go in, like if I had, say tomorrow, Monday, I was going to work on a few of the course things or go to the meeting, I would write it in here, like every time I watched a video or something. But I think maybe I'd rather work on a checklist. So this might come out of here. But I have some pretty dashboards and a lot of lined paper to take notes on. This Fall in Love with Taking Care of Yourself, Mind, Body, and Soul also came from that same class or that same Etsy shop. So there's just lots of little cute things. These side tab dividers I haven't put notes on yet, but they are, my family just got home. They are also really cute. So I have probably, this is a cover that came from Kiki K a few years back. And I probably have 4 or 5 of these ring bound in B6 size. And it was like, I've never really used them. So I decided this time I'm going to actually use it. And so now I have 2 different notebooks that will stay in my Hudson cart here in my office, and I'll only pull them out when I need them. The other notebooks that I showed you, those stay by my bedside. So the rest of these are things, again, that are just sort of functional things that I use all the time, and I won't go through them like in detail. This one, I'm not even going to really go through. This is my writing notebook we visited last week because there's so many spoilers in here, but just to update you that I've probably filled out another maybe 10 pages in this, and I'm feeling pretty good about getting back to the creativity of writing. So this is another one that I am happily using on pretty much a daily basis at this point, especially with Camp Nano starting. So basically the last 3 planners / notebooks that I want to share with you are also hybrids. They're part planner, part notebook. And that for some reason is just the notebooks I'm preferring to use other than this one here and maybe some of the traveler's notebooks in here. It's just nice to have a little bit of structure to work with, but I frankenplanned these next couple ones. So I've got this lovely cover from Erin Condren, and then I have it decorated. And this brings me joy to like decorate the fronts and the pockets of things. It makes me feel good every time I open it up. This is an older green wedding shoes cover, and I think it is still available. And I grabbed this coil off of an old planner of mine, opened it up, and then sort of chose which pages I wanted to put in. So it's a little bit of a hodgepodge of different styles of the Erin Condren planner. So this was the Woven Wonder design, which I think was like 4 or 5 years ago. So I pulled this off of an old planner. And then I just have a blank page that I want to put a quote in here. And then I have like a coloring page and some blank pages that also came from that Woven Wonder design. So this is not the typical setup of their monthly planners. I have just completely like recreated my own planner / notebook. So instead of having an entire year in here like the normal monthly notebook, I have just July through December. And so you've got the July, and then I put in, I think 10 note pages here. And then you've got all the rest of the months through December. So this is just like a 6-month editorial calendar. And what I'm using this for is exactly that. So this is an editorial and promotions calendar, and also just a focus tool for me to start thinking about the projects that I have related to my writing career. So the other notebook I showed you is for my actual writing, like tracking my word counts, writing my plot stuff. This is more for the business side, like to-do lists for things that I need to do for my business, promotions, marketing, any type of collabs that I want to do, any type of like reformatting my books and things like that. So that's all going in here. So you've got the first half of it is just the monthly spreads with notes pages. Then this is how old it was. 2020 was the preview year. So I guess the Woven Wonder was the 2019 design. And I wanted to show you just real quick. I bought these off of Amazon because Amazon recommended them to me, and they're not perfect. It's going to take some getting used to, but I just thought I'd show you because these are so cute. So on one side, it's just a felt tip pen, but on the other side, it's like a wheelie thing that you can use for dividers, but it's kind of hard to keep it straight. So you have to really have a steady hand. Otherwise it can be like all over the place, but it's kind of cute. And they have these different like dotted lines, wavy lines, and hearts and different things like that. So I will link these down below just because they're cute. It is hard to keep them straight unless you got a really steady hand, but they're cute. So the rest of this, I did put in some productivity pages, which are lined pages with a checklist on the side for some of those other projects. I also grabbed a few pages from their vision board because I wanted to make a vision for the launch of each book that I have coming out, not over the next 6 months, but over the next year. And then I also have just some like marketing brainstorm things. And then a lot of this is going to be covered up, but I've talked to you guys before about game board strategy. So I'm going to be implementing this game board strategy that I have. And so I have a lot of stuff covered up because it is just books that I have not released the titles or anything else for yet. But you can kind of see what I've done is I print out a bunch of book covers on sticker paper, and then I use them in here so that I have that visual. So here's just like brainstorm of how long each book is going to take me to write, when I want it to come out, what marketing I want to do ahead of time. Because really over the past 3 years, I have not been writing or spending as much time on my writing career as I have been on Heart Breathings and my courses. And I'm just feeling a need for balance because I miss my writing and I miss the excitement of the releases and connecting with my fans. So this is a hybrid sort of notebook that I'll be using to do more of that. It's also an editorial calendar for that Sarra Cannon YouTube channel. And again, I could, I guess, simplify and put it all into one notebook, but I like having it compartmentalized for myself. Like this, I can, when I'm in this planner, I focus on this task. And then when I move to this notebook, I'm focused on this other task. So I'll show you just briefly. So this is one of their new Erin Condren covers, and it's like the vegan leather kind of blush cover. So this is just another monthly planner. And again, I have taken some of the other pages out. It actually started in May. This was a full year 2022. And I just pulled some of the other months out to make it a little bit shorter, I guess. And I am just using it for the same purpose, which is editorial calendar of the videos I have coming out, when my courses are, and then any outlines for videos that I want to do in the future. So this is very simple. I've been using this type of planner for years. This, again, is something that stays in that Hudson cart and only gets pulled out when I want to work on my Heart Breathings videos. So everything kind of has its specific purpose. And then the final one that I'm using is also another monthly planner from Erin Condren in their larger neoprene sleeve. And this one is for Publish and Thrive. So this one I have definitely Franken planned. And I did create a video on this process of Franken planning this between multiple different like planners and notebooks. But that just, I haven't had time to edit that and get that out for you guys, but I have been working in this quite a bit. So I was planning originally to totally re-record my Publish and Thrive class for this upcoming round coming up. Like registration opens on July 17th and we start on July 30th with a kickoff call. This will be the first time we've ever done a kickoff call. It's going to be super fun. And the course is moving from a 5-week course to a 6-week course. And I was planning to re-record everything, but the more I think about my energy and the things that are going on in my life, the more I realize I really need to be focused on my writing right now. And I will re-record this in the future. The class is great. I'm going to update any videos I feel need updating. I'm going to expand the marketing section. We're doing a kickoff call. So it's going to be better than it's ever been, but I'm just not going to re-record. It's 90 videos. So I decided, you know what, I'm not going to push myself to re-record, but I did spend quite a bit of time recently going through and re-outlining the class of what the new stuff is going to be. I created index cards and a bunch of stuff about how it's going to change. So I will continue to use this as I revamp the class for probably next year. So it's another notebook / planner hybrid where I have a monthly spread, but I also have a lot of notebook pages that I can use in any way I want to. And then I also have, in this particular one, I have pieces of the teacher planner. And what I intend to do with that is, let's say I have all of the videos put on Post-it notes here. When I start to outline that video, I'll move it here. And this will become kind of like a moving project board, sort of like a Kanban board. Renee, my operations manager, has also created this spread as a Kanban board in Notion for us as well, but I like to have it physical as well. So this is kind of a cool way that you can really take a notebook and make it into anything you want: project management, outlining videos, working on your marketing, all of that stuff. So this is a work in progress, so to speak. And those are the main notebooks that I'm currently using. Okay, finally, we have a fun giveaway. So I have this notebook from Studio O that says Faith, Hope, and Love. This is one of my favorite types of bindings because when you open it, it's like lays completely flat. I love, love, love. But anyway, I have this one here and it's got kind of these pink edges and it's got this beautiful rose gold foiling, and it's just a lovely, lovely notebook that lays super flat and has hard cover on each side. So this is our giveaway for the month. If you'd like to enter, make sure that you are subscribed to this channel, like this video, and be sure to leave a comment down below letting me know what you think of the notebooks I'm using or what you will do with this notebook if you get to use it, if you get to win it. And yeah, let's enjoy our notebooks. Let's make the most out of them. So we also, of course, have a diverse read for this month. And this is a book I haven't actually picked up yet, but I am going to grab it. Yeah, I want it in physical copy, so I'm probably going to go by Target this afternoon to get it. Every single time I have walked into a bookstore for the last few weeks, I have almost bought this book, and I finally decided, okay, I'm definitely going to buy it. I want it. It keeps catching my eye, which is the book I Kissed Shara Wheeler by Casey McQuiston. So let's talk about our diverse read. Woohoo. Okay, so let's talk about the amazing Casey McQuiston. I have heard so many amazing things about their books. So Casey McQuiston is a queer author, and I think this is their third book. So you can find them on their website. You've got Red, White, and Royal Blue and One Last Stop, which I think are considered more like new adult romances. But their new book is called I Kissed Shara Wheeler, and the tagline just gets me. To get the girl, first you have to find her. Chloe Green is so close to winning. After her mom's moved her from SoCal to Alabama for high school, she's spent the past 4 years dodging gossipy classmates and a puritanical administration at Willow Grove Christian Academy. The thing that's kept her going, winning valedictorian. Her only rival, prom queen, Shara Wheeler, the principal's perfect progeny. But a month before graduation, Shara kisses Chloe and vanishes. On a furious hunt for answers, Chloe discovers she's not the only one Shara kissed. There's also Smith, Shara's longtime quarterback sweetheart, and Rory, Shara's bad boy neighbor with a crush. The three have nothing in common except Shara and the annoyingly cryptic note she left behind. But together they must untangle Shara's trail of clues and find her. It'll be worth it if Chloe can drag Shara back before graduation to beat her fair and square. Thrown into an unlikely alliance, chasing a ghost through parties, break-ins, puzzles, and secrets revealed on monogram stationery, Chloe starts to suspect there might be more to this small town than she thought. And maybe, probably not, but maybe, more to Shara too. Fierce, funny, and frank, Casey McQuiston's I Kiss Shara Wheeler is about breaking the rules, getting messy, and finding love in unexpected places. So this book, like I said, just continues to catch my eye. And Casey's book, Red, White, and Royal Blue, has been really highly recommended to me before, and I just haven't had a chance to read it. So I'm excited to read Casey's latest book, I Kiss Shara Wheeler. So I will leave some links down below to their website where you can make sure to find all of these awesome books and all the links to learn more. And of course, if you want to know more about Casey, you can just head to their website and click the About and read a little bit more about them. So this really got to me as well, born and raised in the Deep South, and I was as well. And so I think I feel an affinity to Casey for this. And I also have a sister who grew up queer in the Deep South. So I think I'm going to relate a lot to Casey's story in some ways. And I think that this will be an author that I will really enjoy. So of course you can follow them on Instagram as well and check out all of Casey's books. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for being here for another Heart Breathings Notebook Challenge. Let me know, as always, which notebooks you're using, how it's going, whether you're feeling the need to simplify, or if you've picked up some new notebooks lately. You can always tag me over on Instagram at Heart Breathings or use the hashtag HB Notebook Challenge. Also, if you are over there on Instagram, I would love for you to give me a follow over there. I am doing daily reels for Camp NaNoWriMo, where I'm trying to write 60,000 words this month, and I'm doing kind of a miniature NaNoWriMo Diaries vlogs, like mini vlogs over there every day on my feed. So come join me over there, and you can find all those links below. So this week coming up, we have my Q2 review and Q3 goals, which I'm going to talk a little bit more about 6 months for life and how I'm getting back into the passion of writing. And then next week, then we will start our series on how to write great scenes that keep readers engaged. So all of that stuff is coming up. Also, if you've been interested in joining my Publish and Thrive self-publishing class, we will open for enrollment for both Publish and Thrive and the Thriving Author Bundle, which is the combination of Publish and Thrive and the HB90 Bootcamp, July 17th. So it's coming up in just a couple of weeks, and then we will start the class on July 30th. And we will have a 6-week course starting on July 30th. First time ever we've done a kickoff call. It's going to be amazing. I think it's going to be the best round of the course we've had so far. And the price will not be going up. So for those of you that have been asking, I had planned on raising the price, but due to everything that's been happening, I want to make sure that it stays affordable. So all of that pricing information will be available soon, but the course price is going to stay the same at $399. So there will be a 6-month and a 12-month payment plan option, and all of that stuff we'll talk about on July 17th. But if you have any questions about Publish and Thrive, let me know. It's coming up soon, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.